Hello everyone, today we will discuss how you can use your Gmail more effectively. Yes, everyone has been using Gmail, or I'm sure everyone would have at least used Gmail one time. There are so many things in Gmail itself that normally a person does not know. So let me tell you 10 things which I believe are really cool and one must know if he uses Gmail. So let's get started. Number 1, have you ever felt that you sent a mail and as soon as you click the send button, you realize that there were either spelling mistakes or there was probably something which you did not want to send, and you just wish that you could just bring it back or you could undo the send. So undo send is an option which has been introduced by Gmail recently and it is of great help. So let me show you how you can get that undo send. What you need to do is you need to go here in the settings button. In settings, you need to click on see all settings. When all settings are opened, you will see this option of undo send. By default, it is set at 5 seconds. Normally what I personally like to do is instead of 5 seconds, I go and always change it to 30 seconds. So what it does is that whenever you send a mail, it gives you 30 seconds to cancel sending that mail and you can make the changes. Let me show you how. Let's say I'm sending a mail to myself and in this I wanted to write something. I wanted to type hey bro, how are you? But by mistake I typed hey bro, how are you? So now when I will click on send, you will see down here it will give me an option of undo. And this will be there on my screen for 30 seconds. If I click on undo, it will open the same screen again and here it will give me an option to change. So I can now say hey, I can correct the same and press send. So isn't this cool? Well, believe me, it has been very helpful for me at least, and I'm sure once you'll start using it, you will also feel that it is of great help to you. So let me move on to the next one. The second feature which I want to share is schedule send. If you go to compose message, here you send it to again me, admin@salt.co.in, subject test of scheduled message. Now when I want to send it, on the send button you will see there is a small arrow, and if I click this, it gives me an option of scheduled send. So if I click on scheduled send, intuitively it says you want to send it tomorrow morning, which is 18 December at 8 in the morning, or afternoon, which is 1 p.m, or on Monday morning, because today is Thursday when I'm recording this video. So it takes into consideration that Saturday, Sunday being non-working, you would want to send this mail on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Or you can always go and select a date and time. So I can always select maybe I want to send it on 19th at 18:12 hours and schedule send. Once I click on schedule send, here if you will see a new label will be added by the name scheduled, and if I click on this, here I will see that this is the message that I have scheduled to send, and I have scheduled to send it on 19th December at 18:12 hours. If I don't want to send it at that particular time, I can always go and click cancel send here. And if I click cancel send, it will open the same email in the compose window, so that in case if you want to send it now, you can do all the changes, or you can set another schedule send. Tip number 3 is setting templates. Say for example, in my case, I receive a lot of queries on my email ID, and in most of cases, the first response which I want to give to my viewers is not an automated response, but a response wherein it is a little personalized. So what I normally do is, if I go and click on compose, here for example, I just created another mail saying, hey, I have received your query about Gmail tips and tricks. Let me get back to you tomorrow. So what I will do is I will go on these 3 dots at the bottom, click here, and if you see here, there is an option of templates. In templates, I already have couple of templates saved. Otherwise, if I want to save a new template, I will go to save draft as template and save as a new template. So once I click this save as a new template, it will ask me for an option. Let me say, hey, I'll get back to you. And I click on save. So now whenever I want to send the same email again, the only thing I need to do is I need to go to compose, I need to go to the 3 dots at the bottom, templates, and here you can see the first one, hey, I'll get back to you. Once you click this, the entire text along with the subject comes back. And in my case, if I want to say instead of Gmail tips and tricks or something else, I can always change it. So it will still be a little more customized. And if it's a long email, I don't have to write it again and again. So that really helps a lot. Now, one of the things which I want to show here is that if this option is not available in your window, what you need to do is, again, you need to go to settings on the top. In settings, see all settings. In see all settings, you will see there is this option of advanced. In advanced, there is this option. Let me highlight this. This is templates over here, and you need to just enable the same if it is disabled. Once you enable this, you might have to refresh your window and you will be able to see this option of saving and using the templates in your normal usage. So this was the third tip. For my next tip number 4, I normally like it when I have to put my email ID into some mailing list, and I just want to be sure that my email ID is not used for spamming purpose, or my email address is not sold as it is normally done. So what you can do is, in Gmail, and this is only and only for Gmail. So let me show you with the plus sign. Anything I add after my email ID. So in this case, my email ID was admin@solve.co.in. I've configured this on Gmail or G Suite, or as now it's known as Google Workspace, because this gives me a lot of extra features. So if you would have been using a regular Gmail account, let's say had it been admin@gmail.com, you could have added admin plus anything @gmail.com. In my case, I'm doing it as admin plus test@solve.co.in. and let me send this mail. So how it is beneficial? For example, if I'm taking a demo from Zoho CRM and I'm giving my email ID to them, so I would give my email ID to them as admin plus zoho@solve.co.in. So now if I receive any marketing email from anyone else except Zoho, I know that my data has been leaked by Zoho. I'm just using this for a name. It could be any place else. And that ways I would know that yes, this is the place where my data started. And here you'll see I just received the mail, and the mail has been sent to admin plus test@solve.co.in, and it landed right in my inbox. Let's see what Google has to say about it. I'm on the support page for Google Workspace, and how it defines using the plus symbol is by saying create task specific email addresses, which means that if there is a particular task and you want to assign an email address for that, you can simply say like admin plus test or admin plus news @solve.co.in. So what Google is saying is that if your Google Workspace email address is casey@solarmora.com, you can sign up for newsletter with Casey plus news @solarmora.com. Let prospective clients or customers contact Casey plus questions @solarmora.com, and team members with urgent issues can say Casey plus urgent @solarmora.com. So now you see that adding a plus sign, you can also create filters so that whenever an email is coming from a different source or for a particular task, you can segregate those as well. So there are two advantages of using the plus sign. The first one, as I mentioned earlier, you can always put it in your email address mailing list, and in case if you receive email from some other person on that particular email address, you know that yes, your data has been sold or it has been leaked. Number two, you can create a task specific email address as I just mentioned to you and take advantage of that. So let's move on to the next part of the same tip, that is how you can use a period or a dot or full stop and you will still receive the email in your inbox. Again, I'm on a Google support page, because if you have to learn something about Google or Gmail, why not learn it from their support page? Well, here it very clearly says that dots don't matter in Gmail addresses, which means if your email address is johnsmith@gmail.com, whether you write it as john.smith@gmail or jo.sm.it.h@gmail.com, or any number of dots you use in between. So it means whether you use a single dot or multiple dots, it really doesn't matter till the time it is followed by @gmail.com. You will receive it to your primary email ID, which is John Smith in this case, and it works only on Gmail. I think it does not work on Google Workspace, but if you are having an email ID of @gmail.com, it works perfectly fine. Go try it out. If it works for you, do leave a comment below. If it does not, then also leave a comment below and we'll try to sort it out. So moving on to the next tip. The next tip is reading pane. A lot of people who have been using Outlook or any other client like that are habitual that their email list is on the left and their email is visible on the right side. In Gmail, traditionally it has been in this format only, that one email after another, and you'll have to open to see the email. Now what you can do is you can go directly to the settings, and down if you scroll, you will see there is an option of reading pane, and let me say I want to put it at right of the inbox. I click on reload, and now my email has opened. So once I click on an email, I can view the email, or I can preview the email on the right side. I can also put it on the left side by going in the settings down. It can be below the inbox, so now it's top and bottom, or I can come back to no split like it was earlier. Once I have enabled it there, I just need to come here and I can toggle between the various views. Here the reading pane is at the bottom. Now reading pane is switched off, and here it's giving me an option of no split, vertical split and horizontal split. So if I go to horizontal split, it gives me the reading pane at the down. Vertical split, it gives me the reading pane on the right side. So this was the next step. Now, well, let's talk about the next step, which is how you can use your dark theme. In today's time, dark theme is really gaining popularity because using the dark theme, everything turns black and white, and because of that, the strain on your eyes is a little less, and there might be many more reasons, but I generally just like it. So what you need to do is, if you go in the settings again, you will see here there is an option of theme, and in case it's not visible, you might be using Google Workspace and you might have to ask your admin to allow themes for you. Well, in this case, because it's a personal email ID, I can see that it says theme and view all. So if you click on view all, here it will ask you to pick your theme, and in this it will show you so many options. These are really beautiful, followed by the default theme, the dark theme, the blue theme, the soft gray, and so on. So you just need to click on the dark theme and click save. Now everything is black and white. It will be a little more comforting for your eyes, and in case if you use your mobile device, then it will consume, I believe, a little less battery. Well, I don't know all the benefits of dark theme, but I know it looks really cool. So now let's move on to the next step. The next step includes using signatures in Gmail. I'm sure most of you will already be knowing how to use signatures, so I'm skipping that part and I'm coming to the new feature, which is you can use multiple signatures in your Gmail inbox. So let me show you how. The first thing is you need to go on the settings icon, then the see all settings. In the see all settings, if you scroll a little down, you will see that there is this option of signatures, and here you can see that I have two signatures which I have already added to my profile. Here you can see the first signature is by the name Veevjay Solved, and it just says cheers veevjaysolved.co.in, my website, and this next one is for YouTube. So in case if I need to send someone my YouTube channel link, I just choose this signature and it says thank you followed by my channel link. And in case if I need to add new, I can always select create new and add more signatures. So this was one part, and down below it shows you the signature defaults. For my email ID, for new emails, I want the Veevjay Solved one, and if I'm replying to someone, I can always choose no signature or this the same signature, or I can probably choose one more signature which is my YouTube signature, because in a reply I want the person to maybe visit my YouTube channel as well. So these are the things which can easily be done from here. For now, let me bring it back to no signature, and you just scroll down and save changes. This is an important part. If you don't save your changes, it will not work. So now if I go on compose, you will see by default it says cheers Veevjay, my website, and a quotation which I really like. Doesn't matter what you do in life, learn Microsoft Excel. It does make sense, and I have made a lot of videos on Microsoft Excel tutorials. If you want to watch those, I will leave them in the description as well as on the eye above. Take advantage of that. So let's move on the next step. The next step involves use of stars, and believe me, it is really good. In most of the cases, people have used the star, the golden yellow star which you make in front of the email, showing that yes, this is important and I want to keep a track of it. Well, did you know there are multiple stars? Right now, if you see, if I click it and I click it again, it's changing to blue, then the checkbox, then the exclamation mark, and then it goes back to the no star option. Well, how did I do it? Let me show you very quickly. We go to settings, we go to see all settings. In here, if I go a little down, here you will see the option of stars. In here, there are a few presets, which is 1 star, 4 star, or all stars. And here it says In use, I'm currently using these four, which is the golden star, the blue star, the green arrow tick mark, and the red exclamation mark, and not in use are these. So what I can do is very simple. In case if I want to add one more, I just drag and drop over here a green one, maybe a purple question mark, and again I go down, click on save changes so that the changes are applied, and in my inbox, if I click it one time, it is the golden one. Here it shows me the name, it says start. If I click it 2 times, it says a blue star. If I click it 3 times, it says green check, 4 times red bang, 5 times green star, 6 times purple question, and back to no star. So how it helps is, if I have starred some mails, and in that also if I want to do some classification, then I normally do and put a red exclamation or the red bang button, so that in case if that is an important email, even in the stars, I can find it out. The green check mark is used when I normally say, okay, this is a starred email, however this work is already complete. It is important, but as of now I don't need to go into that email again. So that was the next step, using multiple stars. Now let's move on to the next one. The next step is a great tip. If you use Gmail, the free one, it would give you 15 GB of space, and if you are using Google Workspace, it by default will give you 30 GB of space. And if you have been using your Gmail inbox for a long time, then you may have realized that your space is almost full, and what would you do in that case? Did you also know, if you attach one file of let's say 10 MB and send it to 5 people as separate emails, it takes 50 MB on your Gmail. Hence, you will consume a lot of your free space out of the 15 GB free space that Gmail has given. And if your mailbox is almost full, you have a couple of options. The first option is you can go and purchase more storage from Gmail. Well, though it's not very expensive, still not everyone would like to pay for the email service. Anyways, the second option is you can always go up into the search mail bar, and here you can type larger. Well, again, because Google is very intuitive, it gives you the option of the syntax or the examples. So it says larger than 1 MB. I would like to say 10 MB, and I would press enter. Here you would see it gave me no results, because in my email inbox there is no email which is larger than 10 MB. Similar result can also be achieved if you go here, click on the down arrow. Now in this option, as you can see, size greater than, less than, and followed by the space where you can fill in, and it gives you the option of MB, KB, and bytes. So let me change it to 10 MB again and click on search. Again, I have no file which is more than 10 MB, so it again gave me the same result. So this is one way where you can search for your large mail, maybe 10 MB, 20 MB, and so on, and delete the unwanted emails and free up some space in your Gmail account. Well, recently Gmail or Google also came up with a policy that they will clear out your trash, whether it's in Gmail inbox or the Google Drive trash, every 30 days, because I believe they were having so much space occupied only in the trash since they were not deleting it earlier, that they had to really sort it out. So these were the two options, but do you know what is the right thing or the best practice in this? The right thing to do would be, if you have to share a 10 MB or a 20 MB file, or maybe even bigger than that. Normally, if you would attach, Gmail will not let you attach anything more than 25 MB. In this case, the one I'm about to tell you, you can attach even the larger files and still save on the space in Gmail. Well, what you need to do is, you need to go to your Google Drive. Once you have logged in, you can simply drag and drop the file into your Google Drive, whether it's 1 MB, 10 MB, or whatever the size be. And after that, you just need to right click on that and say get link. Once this link is available, you can just click on copy link, and here it says whether it's restricted, only people added can open this link, or anyone with the link can view this file. If I change it to anyone on internet with this link can view, and say done. Now if I go back to my email, I want to compose a mail, and here I right click and I paste the link. So now what is going to happen is the file is going to remain in my Google Drive. It will be available for anyone to view. Let me open an incognito window and show you that. Here you can see in an incognito window because I could not open this file, so the file could not be previewed, but I can still download the same. So now what will happen is, number one, you saved on the space if you have to send the same file to multiple people, because now the same file is being shared multiple times. So if you send a 10 MB file to 50 people, rather than consuming 500 MB on your Gmail, you are just consuming 10 MB on your Google account. So that was the benefit. Number two, if you delete this file, even though the link has been shared, so if anyone has downloaded, great. If not, the file will no longer be available for the other person to download. Well, this is one of the benefits which you can use in Gmail, and this will help you save on space. I personally use Google Workspace. It helps me a lot. There are so many benefits I can't even tell you of using Google Workspace. One of the very simple benefits being you can undelete or restore the data for last 28 or 30 days. So in case if someone has left your organization and he or she might have deleted some important emails, and now you have no option of recovering those emails, if you are using Google Workspace, you can go into the admin panel and restore the data for last 28 days. In case you want to try out the Google Workspace as well, I have a few referral codes. I will leave them in the description box below. I believe it will give you around 10% off for the first year. Well, the last tip is awesome. So let's get there. The last tip which I want to share for Gmail is basically you can snooze, and also you can add that particular email to your task if you are using Google Task. If you're using Gmail, and once you open any email, you would see there are two options here. The first one says snooze and the other one says add to task. So if I click on snooze, it will ask me snooze till tomorrow morning, which is 10 AM, Sunday, this weekend, for 8 AM in the morning, or next week, the Monday at 8 AM again. Or you can select a time and date. What it will do is it will move it to a different folder, and on that particular day, it will come back in your inbox. So let me show you here. I clicked on tomorrow at 8 AM. So it went away from my inbox and it went into the snooze options. Here, if I click here, it says snoozed until tomorrow at 8 AM. So at 8 AM, it will come back to my inbox, or I can always go and right click on unsnooze, and again, it will start showing in my inbox. So this was if I wanted to snooze it. And I can always add it to a task if I'm using Google Task. If I click on add to task, here you will see on the right side a new pane will open, which will open all the tasks that I have listed in the Google Task. If you're opening it for the first time, it will first give you the welcome to task screen, get started, and here you can see it says that this particular email has been added to my task, and at the bottom you can see there is this small attachment of this email. So if I click on that, it will take me to this particular email. So this is fairly useful if you are in an organization, or probably you are doing your own work and you want to assign certain emails to your task, so that you can remember. Here, by adding it as a task, not only will it show you that yes, this task is pending, but also it will give you an option of quickly switching back to the email from where you created this task. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed learning these 10 beautiful tips and tricks for Gmail. There are many more which I'm not covering up right now. If you want to learn about more tips and tricks, please leave me a comment below and I will share the link for the videos with you, or some referral pages which might be very useful for you. If you watched this video till now and you have not subscribed to my channel, please click the red subscribe channel below and also the bell icon so that you can get notification for all my future videos. Also, please share with your friends and family on Facebook, Insta, and any other social platform so that they can get benefit of this as well. And thanks a lot guys for watching till now. Take care. Bye bye.